The hot dogs are grilling, the popcorn is popping, and it's almost time for some Elk Grove volleyball. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Bob Bilsaway for the Elk Grove Television Game of the Week. It's the Elk Grove Grenadiers against the Leyden Eagles here at the home of the Grenadiers in beautiful Elk Grove Village, Illinois. And Bob, it's so nice outside. I almost want it to be beach volleyball, but we're indoors tonight, and it's Elk Grove against Leyden for the first game of the season.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun outside in the sand? And just kind of on cue, Katie Hoffman walked in. She was the star on Elk Grove last year, and she's playing at Harper this year. She had a great weekend in the Harper team. We played 4 teams, won 2, lost 2, but Katie Hoffman had about 30 kills. What's that, 7.5 per match, 2.5 per game. Playing mostly middle and right side, even though she's a left side here at Elk Grove last year. But she's doing a great job at Harper, that's for sure.
For the Grenadiers this year, they're led by a couple of seniors, Dom Patak and Victoria Labno, and also the libero, Vicky Gruca.
Yeah, I remember Labno from last year. She was their middle. I'm wondering if she's still staying in the middle this year or if she's going to move outside. And then Dom Patak, I love that name. It's like the Dom Patak whenever she hits it. And she has a cannon for an arm. I remember her from last year, too.
Also, a notable player on the team is the setter, just a sophomore, Katie Wattis. That's courtesy of the Daily Herald. So we'll see how that goes. But for Leyden, they've got a lot of size on this team, including their outside hitters, led by Jennifer Herrera, 5'9", Alexandra Makowick at 5'8", and the tallest lady on the team, Isabella Lanuski, an even 6 foot.
Yeah, Lanuski was hammering it in practice. Some of her hits were hitting the net, so as she warms up and gets a little higher vertical, look out, she's got a hammer on the right side. And Makowick on the left side also has a hammer, so they've got 2 hitters, right side and left side. They're going to be tough for Elk Grove to handle. Let's see how they can stop those two. Maybe serve in such a way that the set can't go to the right side or something.
Both teams have had their struggles the last couple of years. Leyden has not had a winning season in 5 years. Elk Grove, it's been a long time since they've even gotten to double-digit victories. But you don't have to worry about that anymore. It's a new season. You forget about all that, and you see what you can do. For Elk Grove, this would be a great way to get a win going into their very tough schedule. It always is in the Mid-Suburban League, and eventually they're going to have to play Barrington. I'm not saying that beating Leyden will give them the confidence to beat Barrington, but you obviously like to be 1-0 instead of 0-1.
Well, and Elk Grove is going to be more improved this year than last year. It's just at the setting position alone. Katie Wattis, a sophomore, I saw her at one of the D1 setting clinics. She was setting opposite of a Division I recruit, and her sets are going to the same locations that this D1 recruit is hitting. So Katie Wattis is a very, very good setter. So she's going to make all the Elk Grove hitters look just a little bit better.
And they are pumped up. Slapping high fives to their team. Leyden just kind of chilling as they wave to the home team. Leyden in the purple and orange. The Grenadiers, of course, as they always are, in the green, white, and yellow.
Yeah, with the jersey numbers, it's hard to read from the distance, right? It'll be interesting to see the Elk Grove starting lineup, to see who the 2 outsides are, who the middles are. They've got Labno, Duckman, and Ortloff all in the middle. Let's see which 2 actually get on the court. Wattis, the setter, of course. Libero is Vicky Gruca.
Victoria Labno, of course, in the starting lineup, as expected.
Yeah, every time I see that name, I keep saying I like her, but I'd like to see her hit outside. Now, the problem is, the coach, Tara sees the players every day in practice and is, no doubt making the right decision. It's just I like her on the outside, but the question is, can she pass? I always see her in the middle.
Yeah, that's what makes a head coach's job so difficult. You want to do what's in the best interest of the team, not always in the best interest of the player. And you'll see not just in volleyball, but baseball and other sports, sometimes you got to put players at positions they're not always comfortable with or not their best position because you just have such a hole at that other position. You have to put them out there just to make your team better. But it's tough because if they're used to playing right field and you put them in left, if they're used to playing middle hitter and you put them an outside hitter, it's not going to be an easy adjustment overnight. But here we go. Volleyball, the IHSA season is underway. The weirdness of the players wearing masks, but the players would rather wear the masks than not play at all. And so here we go. IHSA volleyball wearing the masks once again.
And the first serve from Katie goes out of bounds. So what a way to start. This last weekend, Harper played in the tournament, right? There were 50. Depends on the facility that you're in.
It's also high school kids. You're not an adult till you turn 18, so it's hard to give them the option of no masks, and the Delta virus, unfortunately, is spiking in the state. That serve, that time taken by Lopez over to the Grenadiers' end. They'll try to spike it over, a little tap shot over, and the Eagles will try to play it.
That's the Don Patak.
Bump straight up, not a good pass, and it's another point for the Eagles. They're looking a little out of sorts right now, Bob, especially to start off the game. A serving error and now a bad pass. It's 2 early points for the Eagles.
Well, they're starstruck with Jennifer Lopez serving at them.
Well, Jacqueline, but close enough. Almost got an ace that time, and a spike and a kill for the Eagles. Rebecca Wright, the middle hitter.
Yep, an overpass will get you in trouble. You have to keep the arms parallel with the ground. If you start with your arms pointed at the ground, if you misjudge the speed of the serve, that's what turns into overpasses.
It was just too easy of a kill for Leyden. Oh, almost a mishap on the serve. Having trouble today is Elk Grove. All facets of the game, and another point for the Eagles. Oh, no, are they going to say it was an illegal block?
No, it's just nothing more than a hit. Tooled the block. It's a kill for Labno.
Oh, I thought it went on the Grenadier side.
Well, it did get blocked, but stayed on the Leyden side. And then an ace. So 2 points happen quickly, you know. Let's say that was a block, then Leyden is serving again, but it wasn't a block, so Elk Grove is serving. Now 2 points later.
Yeah. It's a huge swing because it looked like it was going to go on the Grenadiers' end, but stayed on Leyden's end. As that's a good serve, just barely got over the net.
Oh, that's not good. That's a whiff from Lanuski. I wouldn't have expected that.
Now it's even 3-3. It was an early 3-0 lead for the Eagles, led by Danielle Kowalkowski are the Eagles, and another ace for the Grenadiers.
That's a Patak.
Patak with the ace, and it's now 4-3, 4 unanswered points for EGHS.
Volleyball is a game of momentum. Here we go again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Eagles, but they are not ready for these serves.
And they're going right to the libero, too. So you would expect the libero to have to move, get behind the ball, not pass the ball from the side, because these serves from Dom Patak has some giddy up to it. Of course, remembering her from last year when she hits the ball, there's a lot of force behind it.
Serving over the net. That time played well by the Eagles. It's 5-3 Grenadiers after trailing early 3-0. That kill attempt. And it's going to be tough for Leyden to get it after it was misplayed by the libero in Avidia. And it's another point for the Grenadiers, an early 6-0 run. Patak will take the serve. Beautiful serve. Ace. Some fans will say that was luck. No, I think she meant to hit the net like that.
I guarantee you, not one volleyball server ever aims for the tape. That was just accident, hit the tape, went over the net. Ace.
But you want to get those serves low, right?
Yep.
So in case that happens.
Yep.
So she definitely got the serve low.
Oh, and that's out of bounds.
Yeah, Leyden might have to call a timeout soon. That's now 8 unanswered points for the Grenadiers.
Well, you expect your star, Lanuski, to hit the ball at least in bounds, make it tougher on Elk Grove.
Timeout called, of course, by Leyden. This is big for the Grenadiers. You want to get an early win in the season. Forget about what happened last year. Only had 1 win out of 11 contests. You just erase all those bad tastes in your mouth from last year with a win tonight on your home floor.
Well, and this is good for both schools because both teams are beatable. Both teams aren't too good, right? So I'm sure both teams came into this match thinking they can win. And for Leyden, and I guess the freshman team won, the JV team won. So if varsity wins, it might be the only win for Elk Grove today, but that's the important one.
That's the important one that shows up on Max Preps. As good as your freshman and sophomore teams are, doesn't show up on maxpreps.com and Huddle.
Yeah, and think about volleyball, too, is it's so momentum-oriented. So right now, Elk Grove has the momentum and the lead. And, of course, all of a sudden, one rotation later, maybe Elk Grove gets stuck in a rotation, or maybe Leyden gets unstuck out of their rotation. So volleyball is fun because every rotation is like a different game in itself.
8-3 lead for the Grenadiers. Grenadiers led by their head coach, Tara Braceros. She played at Elk Grove. She was also a manager on the boys team for 3 years, and she was so good at it, one of the coaches thought she was one of the assistant coaches on the boys team. And she's doing a good job coaching tonight. Good pass by the Eagles, but bumped well by the Grenadiers. Over to the other side, spike attempt. Another good bump by the Eagles, and then sent over to the Grenadiers' end. Now the Grenadiers have it, as it's on the Libero of Gruka over to the Eagles end, and a point for Elk Grove. That's 9 straight points for the Grenadiers.
Yeah, Leyden needs to find a way to get out of this rotation, and then remember what it's like 6 rotations from now. Oh, that's the other way to get out of rotation. Dom Patek let him off the hook.
Yeah, it looked like when the ball was in the air, her momentum was going downwards, and the law of physics tell you wherever you go is usually where the ball's going to go. She was going downwards, ball ended up hitting the net, not going over.
So after all that, a 5-point lead, and we're going to get this one.
This looks like a different Grenadiers team than we saw last year, and I get it's only 1 week into the season, but I mean, this Grenadiers team, there seems to be more velocity coming off those spikes than we saw last year.
Well, my memory needs refreshing. Who did Elk Grove play in that game? Was that Hersey?
I think it was Rolling Meadows.
Oh, that's right, Rolling Meadows. So it's a different opponent. Missed serve from Elk Grove. So there, the momentum just swings so quick.
Pranjic will enter the game. Remember, got to make the substitutions very quick. Avidia will take the serve. She struggled a little bit at Libero tonight, but she can make up for that with a good serve. Gets it over the net.
Well, she did.
Grenadiers weren't ready for it. You know, you got to bump it straight up. You don't want to bump it to the side. That's what's going to happen. Makes it harder to pass it to your teammates.
Well, and that's it. The serve was a little bit short, and the passer, I didn't see who it was here.
It looked like it was touched by the Libero and Labno.
Well, Maznika is back there maybe. But anyway, they hit it from the side. You got to get behind the ball. You got to shuffle your feet.
Gruka, sorry, is the Libero. Bad serve. Oh, hits her teammate, a double whammy. And Lanuski not happy about it, but it just stings a little bit, then you get over it. It's not like a baseball hitting you. 11-6 the score.
But a very crooked serve and gave up the serve.
And this time it'll be Pantaleon to take the serve. It's a good one.
Yeah, I like that serve and the confidence to jump. Nice top spin to it.
Couldn't get it over the net.
So if Leyden's going to struggle with serve receive, this is a server that can get some points.
Renee Pantaleon, defensive setter, senior. What a good serve. A lot of athleticism behind that serve. Over to the front of the net and the front row for Leyden.
Ooh, she hit that out, Herrera. I thought that was in from this angle.
Yeah, I thought it was too. I was going to say give her the kill, but the official made a late judgment. Then it goes the way of the Grenadiers.
Now the referees switched. The down judge was up during the JV game, and no double hit calls at all were called. Ace. So there's another one that ticked the net, landed in front of Herrera. She couldn't move to get back up to it, and Pantaleon, another ace. 14-6 lead. Oh, it's too bad. So every time Elk Grove loses the serve, it's because they miss the serve. It's not because Leyden's outplaying them. So Elk Grove is controlling their own destiny. This is all good from Elk Grove's perspective. From Leyden's perspective, they've got trouble as Lanuski gets subbed out.
(14-7) score. Leyden, remember, was up 3-0, but it's been all Grenadiers since. A 14-3 run. Good job digging that out by the Libero and Gruka. Now over to the Leyden end. Trying to spike it over the net, and does by Pranjic.
And that goes out.
But they just can't get on top of the ball, and it goes out of bounds.
You get the feeling Leyden is a better team than they're showing, too. They continue to hit the ball out of bounds. I don't think that'll stay that way. I mean, you've got first game jitters, perhaps, maybe not warmed up. Whatever it is, Leyden's going to hopefully hit those in as the season wears on.
Just a sophomore, Wattis with the ball. She gets it over.
A good sophomore.
Good job staying with it, but that's their third hit, so they got to bump it over. So a chance for the Grenadiers to go into their attack. They do, just can't get it over the net. They set up the right play, but they just couldn't execute.
Yeah, that was Duckman on a slide, and it's a very nice timing play. Unfortunately, Duckman swung a little bit late and hit it low into the net, but that's going to be a deadly combination. Duckman's very athletic, basketball player as well. Wow, this is a good setter.
Serving it
See
over
if they
the
run
net.
it again. There you go.
Bump, set, spike, and it's blocked well by the Eagles. Over back to the Eagles' end, trying to get a point here. Bumping it over.
Now she'll probably go outside with this. Nope, same thing.
Little tap and another tap by Leyden. They go back and forth with the taps. And this time a kill for the Grenadiers as not able to bump it and dig it out by Guerrero.
I like how she went right back to that play 2 more times to Duckman. Let's get it right. Let's get it to work. We're going to need this play all year.
Now the libero to serve, and Gruka. Leyden was pushing for a double hit, no call.
That's barely
and
out.
Just
Patak.
barely went out of bounds.
But boy, I like the way Dom hammers it. Now, unfortunately, her vertical jump doesn't look like it's real high. She didn't have a whole lot of approach on that. But boy, what a hammer. If she can get a little bit more approach, get a little bit more air under the ball, she hits it hard. That's what you need. Hard kills that are deep.
And for Leyden, you're down 7, but you can't think that way. You just got to think, let's have a good possession at a time, 1 point at a time, and just get Elk Grove to think about it a little bit. Get Elk Grove out of their comfort zone. Well, meanwhile, it's on the Leyden end.
Yeah, and it's going to be harder to get points in a row on Elk Grove because they have such a good setter. So if somebody gets the ball up, Wadis is going to give something hittable to her hitters. When you have a good setter, it's real hard to score a bunch of points in a row against them.
Pranjic will take the serve. Bad serve, it goes out of bounds.
Of course, it's hard to get a lot of points in a row if you're Leyden, if your serves are really crooked.
Yeah, you just can't have that.
Yeah, Wadis has a strong serve, so let's see if a couple more points can go Elk Grove's way here.
You know, if you're not the best server in the world, just think about getting it over the net. Athleticism and topspin are great, but you can't have those serving errors. Good block attempt.
All right, we had a bunch of good plays in a row right there. Wadis had excellent serve. The libero from Leyden dug it up perfectly. And then finally, Makowick on the outside was able to get to her first solid attack, and it's a good hit.
Avatia, the libero.
Right, and Lanuski coming back in. So in the front row, you have Lanuski and Makowick. So maybe Leyden can make some ground here.
Lopez will take the serve. As we got 3 in the front row, followed by the libero and Avatia. Sent over and just couldn't get over the net.
Yeah, that set went outside the antenna, and Patak couldn't make up for it.
You're in a tough position, right? Because you're to the right side of the back judge, and you're off balance. You're trying to one-hand it over the net. Not saying it's impossible, but put Elk Grove in a tough spot there.
Yep, got to get that ball between those antennas. There we go.
Shooting it over the net. Avatia can't get a piece of it. At least not enough to get it over the net, and it's a point for the Grenadiers.
Yeah, nice middle attack from Ortman, number 7. Or Ortloff, I'm sorry, Ortloff, number 7.
Just been a complete effort on the team by Grenadiers. There's really not one player that's overshadowing everybody else.
Another ace right at that libero. Avidia definitely struggling today.
And the Grenadiers doing the wise thing. They know that the weak link right now in the Leyden chain is Avatia.
Yeah, it means you don't really have to aim your serves. Just hit it down the center of the court. That ball was set outside the antenna. Nothing Lanuski could do.
Yeah, that would have been just absolutely impressive if she was somehow able to get it through the right side of the antenna.
You know, I feel like the timeout was a good call, right? But I feel like the timeout should have been called several points ago. This game has gotten away from them. It's 20-12. I'd say Elk Grove has it, although you have to close it out. But I don't think Elk Grove should be nervous about finishing this game.
I think she called the timeout just to get them some momentum going into their second game. It's pretty much a given fact that Elk Grove's going to win this first match. But
well, and you nailed it. I mean, you've got to get Lanuski and Makowick loose in this game. I mean, right now it's got 20 points against you, and Makowick, I can't pronounce her name, Makowick, has just one real strong attack, and that's it. Makowick, right? Very, very good player.
Taking the serve will be Patak. She's had a lot of aces today. She led the attack after it was 3-0 Leyden.
Well, you have to say it was a good timeout, and it was that same lineup, right? Patak was serving.
Makowick will take it, the 5'8" outside hitter. A lot of seniors on this Leyden team.
8 of them. I was talking to the coach earlier.
Can't get over the net. It's not over yet.
Yeah, that was just a bad hit, unfortunately. Asnika just chucked it into the bottom of the net. Oops, stuff happens.
Leyden would need 3 more points in a row to make this a game. 20-14 in the first set. We played 3 in high school. Sent over to the Leyden end. Sent over to the front row, just taps it over. She's in a bad spot, had no choice but to just tap it over. Now the Grenadiers on the attack.
Oh, that was flying out of bounds, but Makowick played it.
Yeah, that's just darn if you do, darn if you don't situation. You're so close to the back line, but you can't afford to just let it go and see if it touches the back line.
And I saw a lot of that this week. And the ball's flying out. The back middle person, just because you can dig it doesn't mean you should dig it. Let it go out.
Another great serve.
Oh, and a lucky return for a point.
Yeah, she didn't mean to do that. She was just trying to bump it straight up to her teammates, but accidentally went over the net.
Yeah, that sometimes happens. But again, you're not controlling that pass. So Elk Grove is controlling the game because of their strong serving and Leyden's weak passing.
Avatia trying to make up for her mishaps on this serve.
Oh no, same place as last time.
The idea was right, but she's just not getting underneath the ball enough.
I think next time Lenuski's going to have to duck.
That's why jumping can sometimes be advantageous, because even if you're not the best at it, the chances of the ball going over the net are greater because the ball's up in the air, you're up in the air, and you should have enough on it to get it over the net. Meanwhile...
Oh, another set outside the antenna, nothing that Lenuski can do. Meanwhile, Pantaleon is a very, very good server.
If you're going to pass it to the right, you got to pass it not so much towards the scores table, but just a little bit towards the net.
Yep, zone 7.
To give your teammate a chance to get it over. Meanwhile, spike attempt. How was that blocked? What a beautiful, beautiful dig, but just couldn't get it to her teammate in time.
Yeah, that was like the first hit Lenuski's had. That's, well, actually, maybe even the first good set she's even had this game.
So a spike and a kill for Lenuski. Not able to dig it out by Patak.
Right, so Lenuski and Makowick are quite able hitters. They need the ball to get to them, though. Somebody has to pass it. Somebody's got to set it.
Getting it over to the front row, bumped over. And Abatia got in the way of her teammate in Herrera and then sent over. Sorry, that's Makowick. As Gruka gets it over to her teammate, and a point and a kill for the Grenadiers. It's 24-16.
Right, just a simple roll shot in the middle that didn't come up. Leyden's got some work to do on defense. Now, Maznika, I can't remember. Is she the pitcher?
Yep.
She was a great pitcher.
Wattis will take the serve, sends it over. Picked up by Makowick, over to the front row, tapped over. And they're going to say Leyden touched the net, and it's a 25-16 win for the Grenadiers in set number 1.
Boy, you have to say, from the Elk Grove perspective, that went easy. They played very, very well. Strong serving, good passing. The hits were all in. Did a great job. If you had to give an MVP to the game, though, you got to give it to Wattis. She just gave her hitters something to hit every time.
Yeah, just a sophomore, but Wattis getting it done.
Well, it's the set locations, the fundamentals, squaring up, following through, getting the ball to the right location. If you have to move a little bit, bump set. But, she can't do anything without some passing, and Elk Grove had some passing on top of that. And then Dom Patak, her serves were excellent. Pantaleon's serves were excellent. It was a complete game for Elk Grove. I think Tara Braceros should be proud. Now, on the Leyden side, what do you got to fix besides just about everything? It starts with passing. You just got to get that pass up. So however you're going to do it, whether it's the libero passes better, a different libero, cut off with a different passer, you got to do something. You got to get the ball up and let the setter deal with it from there. You've got at least two really good hitters. Get the ball to them.
Got to find a way to bump that ball or dig it straight up. It seems like they're trying to pass it as they're digging it out. No, you don't want to do that. You just dig it straight up, get it to your teammates, and then eventually your middle row is going to get it to your front row. A lot easier said than done, right? But you don't want to pass and dig it out at the same time. You just want to dig it and have it go straight up in the air and help out your teammates.
Yeah, at the D1 clinics, Division I clinics, the coaches there say 20 feet at the 10-foot line. So 20 and 10, 20 feet up, 10-foot line. But they got to move their feet. Right now, Leyden looks like they're reaching a little bit, and Elk Grove has got enough mustard on the ball, so it's moving, and it's really saying that Leyden, you need to move your feet. Now, also you have to wonder in practice, what's Leyden doing? Are they serving hard enough in practice to challenge their own passers?
Move those feet, get in front of the ball, and able to pass it over to the front row.
But it starts with that. All right, now you have a decent pass. Okay, now the setter can get the ball out to the hitters, and Leyden does have good hitting. So, maybe game 2 of momentum. So if Leyden can get those passes up with their good hitting, maybe they can do some damage against Elk Grove. But right now, Elk Grove looks like a much more consistent team at this point. So Leyden's going to have to fix their consistency right away.
Tara Braceros, the former Elk Grove player, now the head coach. According to her head coach previously, Dan Widholz, when he was the head coach with the Grenadiers, he would really talk through his decisions with me, and I got to hear how he ran the team and listen to all his talks of the team. Now, Dan Widholz was the boys volleyball coach, and she was the team manager. But it just shows you how much Tara loves this game, not just as a player, but she wants to see how both the boys and the girls play so she can decide how eventually she would do it as a coach, see what the pros and cons are to a boys team versus a girls team. And she played a little bit in college as well, studied kinesiology at the University of Illinois, and thus far her team is up 1-0.
Wait, she went to the University of Illinois. She didn't play college volleyball there.
I think she transferred eventually to Lake Forest College.
She played at Lake Forest College? It's like coaching is somewhat innate. Like she has, you either have it or you don't. So, we're saying she learned from these other coaches, but I have a feeling she probably is a pretty good coach on her own.
Now, her coach at the Grenadiers was Joe DeSilvio, and she worked as a manager under Dan Widholz. Now,
DeSilvio was one of the better coaches if you go back years ago. He was at Rolling Meadows for years and years and years. A fantastic player. He was on my volleyball team for a couple of years there, and we called him the franchise. He was one of those guys when he hits it, puts a crater on the floor. But in high school, you're only as good as the club players you have. And Elk Grove, unfortunately, doesn't have a whole lot of club players, although they're getting better at that in more recent years.
Just the other problem is there's not any notable volleyball facilities in Elk Grove. And if you're a parent, do you want to drive your kid outside of the city limits to have them play volleyball? Some parents do, some parents don't. And that's what makes some of these other teams, like Waubonsie Valley, Neuqua Valley, for example, better, because the DuPage Valley, the Great Lakes volleyball complex is right in Aurora.
Yeah,
it's right down the street to drive there.
Right, yeah, you got Sports Performance right out there. Sky High, that's where I'm at. They practice at Crystal Lake. That's a long way for these girls, although my teams practice actually at Harper and Palatine, so that's close by.
Surf Cities and Wheaton, these aren't terrible drives, but if your girl is also good at softball and basketball, it's a lot easier to go to those games and matches and travel volleyball.
So here's our celebrity server again.
Jacqueline Lopez. She's got the celebrity haircut today with the dark red. And she spells it J-A-C-K, so Jack, like the boy's name, E-L-I-N-E.
Yeah, I had a Jacqueline on my Harper team for years from Rolling Meadows. She was one of the twins. It was J-A-Q.
Isn't it J-A-C-Q?
Maybe it was a C in there. But Jacqueline with a Q.
Jacqueline?
Jacqueline with a Q.
Jacqueline, okay.
Jacqueline.
Oh, what's going on, Bob?
I know. There's a score sheet issue. Written the lineup wrong or needs help there at the front or at the desk. So the down judge has to help with the scorekeeper there.
I saw an awesome former College World Series game. They had to pause the game because a husky ran onto the field. It was awesome. You see squirrels and sometimes cats, but you never think a grown dog is just going to run onto the baseball field.
Right.
Man, that was something to watch.
Trying to go field the baseball.
Leyden will get the serve over the net to the Grenadiers. Not a great pass, but great job keeping it in. They bump it over to the Eagles' end. Avatia sends it up to her teammates in the front row. Set over. Oh, great job by Gruka getting it over the net. Still in play. A great rally back and forth between both teams. And sent back over to the Eagles' end. Avatia, good pass, but not able to get the kill. Makowick had a great job. Teamwork there to block in case it went over the net. It was an error by the Eagles and a point for the Grenadiers.
But for Leyden, that was very encouraging. The rally happened about 3 or 4 times across the net, so they're not giving up quickly on the point. Finally, Makowick just missed the hit.
Yeah, better pass by Avatia there, and just too much on it.
See, this is what happened to Leyden earlier. That ball looked like it was out, right? So just bump set, hit it out. You lose the points quickly this way. And Wadis is a good server.
You're playing the first green line. That's the back line today. I know
Nice
it's sometimes
pass.
hard to see on camera as you're watching this broadcast. Wow.
Stopped at the net. Lanuski get blocked. So Elk Grove on a roll. Again, this looks like Leyden can't keep up with the consistency.
You still got a long way to go, and there you go. A serving error and a point for the Leyden Eagles.
Yeah, if you're going to make a serving error, at least make it after you served a couple in, and that's what Wadis did. Nothing like going back there and just missing your first serve. At least get a couple points first.
And Leyden, you know, all you need to do is win this match. So just win this set, force the third one. Don't even think about the first set.
Nice back set to P-tack, right to her.
Much better passing in Leyden early on, but I'm not sure what happened there, Bob. She had more than enough time for the spike, but she accidentally did the set.
Yeah, she just maybe jumped too early. I don't know, was uncomfortable with the set, stood on the ground, tried to set it over, and the set didn't go over. Just a hitting error. Again, the consistency.
Abatia definitely better in this second set. When your libero's good, it sets up the other team. And a kill for the Eagles.
Looked so easy, didn't it? Herrera just chucked the ball in the middle of the court, didn't even jump. Nice down ball, and nobody at Elk Grove was there.
Yeah, she was really quiet in that first set. And according to the Daily Herald, she's one of the 3 best players on this Leyden team. So when she's struggling, sometimes that can trickle down to the top.
Now there's a serve.
Wow, a lot of heat on that one.
Boy, wasn't there.
Only chance that the Grenadiers had to do is get out of it and hope it goes out of bounds.
It was Jasmine Gutierrez. Boy, let's see if she can do that consistently. That was a tough one to handle.
Jasmine Gutierrez, senior middle hitter among many other players on this team.
Boom.
They'll be graduating in May of 2022. Over the net it goes, and a point for the Grenadiers.
An easy roll shot from Maznika into the middle of the court. So if she had smashed it, there would have been a digger there, but instead just rolled it smartly into the middle. Nobody there, easy point.
Just so strange watching athletes wear the mask.
Right. Labno with a nice serve.
No choice but to bump it over. That's advantageous for the Grenadiers. Can they take advantage? They tried to. Block attempt.
All right, I'm not a fan of that. He called a double hit on the set. Yeah, maybe it was a double hit. But I'm thinking about that JV game where no double hits were called with much, much worse sets than that.
Yeah, they haven't really called that all day.
Yeah, it's first one. But now you're opening up the floodgate if you're the referee. Okay, that was your first call. It wasn't a great set. Maybe a double hit, maybe not. They're letting them go more and more nowadays.
And you also have to think, did it impact the play?
Well, that's not what they're looking at, though. Oh, they're calling a touch on this. Oh, man, we had a perfect angle. I didn't see a touch.
So one call goes the way of the Grenadiers, one call goes the way of the Eagles, and now we stand at a 6-4 score.
I think the coach is saying, no way did she touch it. Let's see what goes on here. Now, it would be great. You can, watching at home, right? You can play it back. And we have a great camera angle. There's 3 cameras here, one on each side. And if the camera on this side was on, it is absolutely a perfect angle to see if there was a touch or not. Didn't look like a touch to me.
That's huge because it goes from 5-5 to 6-4 advantage for the Grenadiers.
So maybe he felt bad about the double hit call. No, it would have been gone. That call, both calls went against Elk Grove.
Leyden looking for a clean sweep. Freshman, JV, and varsity victories.
This is where Tara needs one of those challenge cards. She needs to continue her coaching career so she can coach in the Big Ten. Then you get a couple challenge cards.
Well, wasn't the score 5-4 before that call was made? It's now 6-4 Grenadiers.
Right.
So the call went the way of the Grenadiers that time. They're saying it was touched by Leyden. So so you're not Tara that would challenge it. Danielle would challenge from the Leyden Eagles. Danielle Kolakowski, of course, is the head coach for Leyden.
Well, they've got the ball, so they don't need the challenge.
There we go. It's 5-5. So from what I remember, the ball went out of bounds. So they changed their mind. They're saying Leyden did not touch it, and it's 5-5. So two big-time calls go the way of the Eagles, and now the Eagles have the lead.
Now this is a good time to call timeout if you're Elk Grove, just to settle your team down. They just had 2 calls that went against you. You know, even though they're high school, they're humans, right? And they're probably bugged by this. Just give them a little bit of a mental break.
Bump straight up, getting it over to the Leyden end. Leyden getting it to their front row. Tapped over by Reith, and a point for the Eagles. Not able to dig it out that time by Patak. 7-5 advantage for Leyden.
Now, the only good thing about this lead going Leiden's way is we get to see a game 3, right?
Well, it's very early, still 7-5. That touches the top of the net. The Grenadiers and the Eagles playing in their first match of the season. Now to the front row. Herrera, good dig, and just can't get it over the net. Point for the Eagles.
Yeah, Herrera doesn't have a whole lot of vertical jump, but she has a lot of speed on the ball, a lot of top spin, and the advantage of a little bit of location.
Grenadiers have seen enough. They'll call timeout.
Yeah, that was a wise timeout.
We get a minute timeout to talk things over. It's 8-5 in favor of the Leyden Eagles. It was 5-3 Grenadiers, but a 5-0 run for Leyden. 2 controversial calls. In fact, one of them originally, it was called in favor of the Grenadiers. They said it touched a player on the Eagles, and then they changed their mind, and it became 5-5 instead of 6-4.
Yeah, and if it goes the Grenadiers' way, the game is 5-3. They're serving, they're off on their merry way. They've got momentum and everything, but those 2 calls really set them back, and then probably mentally set them back even further, and hence the 5-8 deficit. It's a good call to call timeout from Braceros.
Leiden's Liana Guerrero will take the ball here. She sends it over and can't get it over the net.
That's the best way to give momentum right back to the other team. You've just got scored, 5 straight points, we said? And all of a sudden just gave it away after a timeout.
And not just momentum, but it just kind of destroys some of the energy that got you to that place of being up 8-5. Then you just have a serving error. And just like that, Elk Grove gets the ball back.
Right, with a good server, Pantaleon.
And a point for the Grenadiers. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, block in the middle from Duckman.
Lily Duckman plays 3 sports at Elk Grove. Her best one might be volleyball, though.
Well, she's a pretty darn good basketball player, too.
Sending it over to the front row. No one home for the Grenadiers. And a kill and a good one by Herrera.
This time from the right side doing some damage. Well, Herrera is on for Leyden. Just got to get Lanuski and Makowick going. Leyden could be a handful then.
You've just seen a completely different libero and Avatia in the second set, and it's definitely changed the complexion of this match thus far.
Yeah, that's a huge observation. She hasn't shanked one yet. Oh, another missed serve.
Can't have it. It's keeping the Grenadiers in this set.
Yeah, missed serves, sure is. Now it's only a 1-point game. The Grenadiers' consistency is keeping it close here.
Substitution. Parangao comes in for Herrera.
To play defense in the back row. A little quicker.
Touches the top and a break for the Grenadiers.
Another net serve that flips over for a ace. Naznika.
Is it really hard to get those sets that low?
You mean the serve?
Serve, yeah.
Yeah, but you are aiming for between the tape and below the top of the antenna. And if you get it between there with some pace on it, those are hard to return.
9-9 score in the second set. Sent over.
Good
and
pass.
It's bumped up. That time by Makowick.
There we go. Nice dig.
Wow, what a dig. Back over to the Grenadiers' end, and they can't get it over.
So that's like the second time that Makowick has had a real good attack, a real good hit. They need to set that up more. Keep doing that. She's going to be a hard one to stop, but what a great dig on that one.
Gutierrez comes in for Reith.
Let's see where this serve goes.
Avatia will take the serve, and she can't get it over the net again. Third time of the match.
You can't miss 3 serves in the same match. You just can't. Now, maybe she's a good server in practice, and they don't expect that.
You think she should just go with the straight serve? She's trying to angle it to the right, and it's not working.
That's a good question. Who's she really aiming it at, right?
Because most servers like to go straight through with the serve. She's aiming it to the right. Meanwhile, the other end it is of the Grenadiers. Great bump, switching hands to get it over. Make sure the ball doesn't hit the antenna.
Yeah, too many free balls, so you have to hit the ball to win.
Oh, Avatia with a beautiful block. Avatia again, but she just couldn't get it to her teammates. Wow, Avatia, star of the match thus far for the Leyden Eagles. What a dig that was. And then she did it again, but that time just got too much on it, and her teammate couldn't help her. 11-10.
Here we go.
Very contested second set of the match here at Elk Grove High School. Avatia couldn't dig it out. Kill for the Grenadiers.
They had the dump attack. Great hit. A lot of pace to it. Cross court. Not real diggable.
And now the libero for Elk Grove will take it. Gruka with it.
She's got a good serve as well. So Elk Grove has a good serving team. There we go. On cue and right at Avitia.
Can't have it.
No. And if you're, well, that's the first time she shanked one in this game, though. But at the same time, it happened while they're behind. So Elk Grove's consistency has kept them in this game, while Leyden actually got better, but not good enough to beat Elk Grove's consistency.
That's one of those tough parts of volleyball. It's not straight at your head. It's right below the neck, and you think, oh, I need to set it. But there's so much velocity on the ball, it's hard to set those straight up. So what you want to do is you want to take one step back and try to bump when it gets eventually closer to your stomach. But at the same time, when it's that close to your head, you're thinking set, but there's too much topspin on it for you to get a good set to your front row.
Yeah, you just got to see it sooner and back up on it. That's where I wonder if Leyden's serving hard enough in practices. They need to challenge these serve receivers in practice. But Elk Grove, I feel like they know something because they were serving at the libero almost the whole game. They're not serving at Makowick, for example.
13-10, Grenadiers trying to sweep the varsity match.
That was going out of bounds. Oops.
Oh, boy.
Yep. That's when the roof falls down. Or the wheels fall off the cart. You know, yeah, roof falls down, literally.
She hit it on the roof.
Right, she's trying to knock that roof down. That was a shame. That was going out. Should have let that go.
14-10, Grenadiers' biggest lead of the match.
Oh, that's another one that was going out of bounds, and she passes it. Oh, my. She's already hiding in the back row. In other words, she's not supposed to pass. She plays two that are going out of bounds. Her teammates need to help her. The bench needs to help her. Don't pass the ball if it's going out.
But with those masks, can you hear your teammates? You got to be shouting through that mask. Everybody wearing the mask, even players on the bench. Kill for Leyden. They're not done yet.
Another nice smash. They got to set her more, but they're down by 4. The lead is just slipping away with these mistakes that are being made.
Lanuski will come back into the game.
So they got to make a run here with their 2 good hitters in the front. And the celebrity server.
Jacqueline Lopez.
Should we say the celebrity server sister, maybe? Good serve.
Yeah, that was really good.
Oh, that's not going to work. It went over the net. Oh, and the call. There's the double hit call.
Yeah, Leyden was out of sorts from the original rally, and Elk Grove took advantage.
We've got fans here, so like for example, I didn't hear that whistle. This is nice to see volleyball with fans now.
16-11. Last year was 20% capacity. They're going to try to do 100%, but they're going to eye the Delta virus spikes. And we'll see if they have to lower the capacity for football and other sports this fall, of course, including volleyball. Substitution on the court, Jennifer Herrera back in.
Right, so they need to ride on her shoulders with some hits to get back in the game.
Oh, what a block that time by Lanuski.
Go right back to her.
Makowick.
Good.
Then to Lanuski.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Got too much on it.
You're right in the middle of a comeback. You just can't chuck it out of bounds. If you're ahead, maybe. Now, this is that rotation where Elk Grove scores a lot of points. Let's see if they can get out of this right away.
Yeah, this is the rotation they want with Patak serving. Another time it hits the top of the net and bumped over.
Well,
Elk Grove on the attack. Good passes. And then bumped in the back row by Makowick. Out in the front row now, and Herrera gets it over. Now to the Elk Grove end, led by Patak. And then sent that time over to Ortloff. And then bumped straight up. Then bumped over the net. Setting it up. Good bump by 6. And great job getting to that ball by Makowick. Spike attempt by Herrera. Now over to the Elk Grove end. Leyden has it, sending it over to Lanuski.
Oh.
Spikes it, hits the net on her side, and a point for the Grenadiers.
Again, just can't do that. That's what Leyden needed, though, long rally. Get your hands on the ball, practice defense, and then you have to try to stay with Elk Grove's consistency, and they just couldn't. Eventually, they missed it.
Dom Patek, the outside hitter. She had a lot of aces in that first set. Remember, it was 3-0 in the first set. Then since then, it's been all Grenadiers.
That back one didn't work. Nice defense, though, in the back row. Gruka. She got behind the ball. Kind of a deep free ball, but she didn't try to pass from the side or use her hands. Just back up and pass it. Nice D.
18-13 to score. Leyden trying to force a third and final set. Did she touch it?
No, out of bounds, no touch.
Who I don't know, Bob. I think she got a piece of it. Break for the Eagles.
Yeah, I didn't see that. She did try to, but this is a really good serve. This is Gutierrez. Got a hammer. Well, this is your good comeback opportunity.
Oh, man, she does.
Yeah.
So much on it that the original dig and 3 hits can't get it over the net. Point for the Leyden Eagles.
Yeah, not exactly an ace, but after 3 touches, you can't get it across the net. That's pretty good serve.
Yeah, a good serve, it's hard to dig out, you know. If it's hard for you to dig straight up, that means there's a lot of topspin on that ball.
Right, and I'd say, well, it's a float. There's no topspin at all. On out of bounds, that's a shame she missed it, but she had to stay aggressive.
And you know what? Sometimes on those balls, the back row is going to touch it. When it's about to go out of bounds that time, good teammates, and they avoided the ball at all costs.
Oh, and then chucked one out of bounds. Elk Grove hasn't been hitting them out often, though, so not so bad.
Abatia was going to serve. I thought she was, but...
Well, she's getting subbed out for a back row specialist.
No, she's still in the game. Or maybe she was just getting the ball to pass it to her teammate. Guerrero on the serve.
And she hits it out of bounds.
Good decision by Gruka. She was just about to play it.
So we saw 3 serves go out of bounds in a row here. So Elk Grove doesn't want to win it, and Leyden doesn't want to win it. All right, this is a good server, though. One of my favorites today, Pantaleone.
Renee Gen Pantaleone, according to Max Preps.
Good pass.
She's definitely got one of the most interesting last names in all of IHSA volleyball. Sent
Oh,
over
my
to
gosh.
Leyden end. You got to dive for that ball.
Well, it's a simple free ball. Leyden just, the middle stayed up at the net. Nobody picked up her defensive spot.
So in baseball, it's called get dirty. In volleyball, get sticky. You know, it's the sticky gym.
No need to dive. Just run there. Get after it. And
Ace
a shank. Yep.
for the Grenadiers.
This Pantaleone is good server. And it's good timeout. Maybe a little too late again.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's too late. Now it's 22-16. It would just be an absolutely amazing comeback.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either because Elk Grove is too consistent. Wadis is good. Her sets are good. The libero's been playing great on defense. So it's just, I don't see how it's going to happen. And Elk Grove hits are always in. And even when Leyden does set it up to a hitter, it's like a 50-50 if the ball's even going to be in play when they're done hitting it. So you're not going to walk away saying Leyden played well today, but there's a lot to build on. They've got 3 strong hitters. Maybe they got some decisions at libero to figure out. I haven't been paying enough attention to the Leyden setter. Are the sets getting out to the antennas where their good hitters can hit it? I think that we don't really know because Leiden's passing hasn't been strong enough. But conversely, Elk Grove's consistently playing well today in this game. Oh, until, whoa, is that an ace?
That's close.
Yeah.
And a point for the Grenadiers.
I thought it was heading out, but sure enough, hit the line.
You never say never with Pantaleone. Even when you think it's going out, she gets some backspin on that ball to keep it in. She didn't start, by the way. I mean, she's been a spark plug off the bench.
She's a back row specialist. She's kind of a starter. It's just that the front row person starts in, she starts out.
Maybe the best comp would be saying like a Jamal Crawford bench player where Crawford would play 30 minutes a game, but he wouldn't start at shooting guard.
Yeah, she's in the rotation, the 8-person rotation. Another example would be the DH in baseball is considered a starter, but is not on the field.
Well, but they still start, whereas
right.
Jamal Crawford technically wouldn't start and then come directly into the game.
Yeah, and another pass from Pantaleone. I love that Duckman play. What is this going to be? Double hit, not a good call. Sorry. That was a really nice set, really nice play. And I like the way that Duckman cranks on the ball. Run it again.
Yeah, we had a good rally going too, and it had to be cut off by the.
That's one of the reasons why they want to stop calling those double hits, because you get a great rally, a great hit like that, and all of a sudden the referee says, "Tweet, double hit."
But hold your horses.
Yeah, that's what Leyden needed, though.
It's 23-19 if they can get it to 23-20.
Well, let's talk about that. Herrera serving, good server. He got in the front left. Makowicz, she's a good hitter.
And just those serving errors really hurting Leyden right now.
Oh, very much so.
It would be 21-21 if not for those 2 serving errors.
And there's another one.
Close. Did it touch?
No,
it did not.
Bounced. So Leyden has to walk away saying, and we got to serve. So we got to do a lot better serving, a lot better serve receive. So that would be their chore in the next couple of practices. Get better at those 2 areas.
Just get it in bounds. I mean, I know you want to have a lot of topspin on it, but you can't have the serving errors.
Masnika, good serve, no ace, but it's going to be a free ball here. Can end the game, right? Oh, I have to dive after it.
Great job by Guga.
There's that Duckman play, right? That's it.
And a point, kill, and match set game for the Grenadiers.
I like that slide to Duckman. They ran it enough today to continue to make it better. It's a good game today, but Elk Grove kind of won easily with all their consistent play.
Yeah, after it was 3-0 in set number 1, it was all Grenadiers after that. They win 25-16, 25-19 in a clean sweep in their first match of the season. Final thoughts, Bob, before we end tonight's broadcast.
I give credit to the coaching staff, Tara Bracero, sir, for putting this team together. She's done a good job. They play consistently. You kind of know what to expect from them. They came through with strong passing, strong hitting, very, very good setting, always something to hit. They earned this win. So hopefully they'll be better this year than they were in past years with that consistency and Tara's coaching.
So they're 1-0. And we'll see if they can go 2-0 with their next match, which is in a couple of days from now. So for our great crew at EGTV, led by Ross Rowe and Debbie Dennison, I'm Kyle Smith alongside Bob Bilsaway. Final scores tonight, 25-16, 25-19, the Grenadier sweep, and we'll see you next time on EGTV.